introduction by Dr. Kun. So I think most of you has attend my first lecture, right? If you attend my first lecture, please raise your hand. Ah, good. So then I'm going to ask you, what subjects it's yesterday Nobel Prize? Physics. Then what's the content? What's about what? Get the Nobel Prize of Physics. Ah, very good. You pay attention on it. Very good. So you did listen to my talk and pay attention to it. Okay. So let me see, where is my mouse? Oh, sorry. Okay. So, okay. So I can see. I saw it and then it disappeared. Oh, okay, I see it. Pointer. Oh, okay, now it's synchronized. Good, I like that. Okay, so today I'm going to speak another topics, which is how to prepare a manuscript and issue a predatory journal. Okay, let me ask one question first. So, who here in the audience, before you graduate, you want to have a publication? Please raise your hand. Oh, okay. So only few wants to have a publication. The others do not want. Then I'm asking, why are you coming? So only a few wants to have a publication. Why are you coming? So how about the ladies on the front? So you didn't raise your hand. Yes, this you. So why are you coming? Because it seems you don't need to publish before you graduate. Do you understand what my question? So what is the purpose of coming? So because you are required to come, otherwise your score will be low, isn't it? Someone would. Because it takes attendance. This is a class you must attend. So I don't want to listen. It's boring. I don't want to publish anything. I just want to graduate. Do you have any comment? Do you understand my question? Oh, okay. Maybe I ask you first. So why do you want to come? I saw you raise your hand. So why do you want to come? To practice how to write a manuscript. Good. Okay. So I think she's shy. I shouldn't ask her. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. I know you are shy. Okay. So okay, let's start. Next, let me see if I can control. It seems I can't. So next slide, please. Okay, so today I will want to tell you how to prepare a manuscript and issue a predatory journal. Can you switch to next slide? Oh, I can. Oops. Oh, okay. So can I also control? Ah, okay. So before I talk to this subject, how to prepare a manuscript, maybe I think a better topic should be how to do scientific research work. I think that is more important than how to write a manuscript. So because if you don't know how to do scientific research work, it's very difficult for you to write a manuscript. So I want to talk about how to do scientific research work first. So because this is a more important topic. Okay, so to do scientific research, step one is, what is your hypothesis? So do you have any hypothesis of your topics? What are you interested in? What are you working on? Hypothesis. What is your hypothesis? So, for example, wow, I have this one here. Mangosteen peel extract contains anti-cancer agents. So if that is your hypothesis, then that's it. So mangosteen, this is mangosteen. Everyone knows mangosteen, right? Yeah, so maybe my hypothesis is mangosteen peel extract contains anti-cancer agent. So cancer patient eat this one can kill cancer. I don't know, that's my hypothesis. So if that is your hypothesis, then what is your next step? Step 2. Then you have to know what is known and what is unknown on this hypothesis. So you have to do something, because you cannot just say, I want to study this one. Why? People ask you why. So you have to know what is known, what is unknown. So how to do that? By literature search. So before you do the research, after you have the hypothesis, search the literature. Okay, so this is PubMed. So if you, I don't know what's the database you use for searching it. For me, I use PubMed. So PubMed, which is under the US government, the National Library of Medicine. So this is my search on last night. I searched mangosteen and cancer. And it turns out to be what? 209 results. Means this is probably a hot topics. Probably a hot topics because 209 people has worked on these topics before. That means at least your hypothesis is correct. Otherwise, you won't find any literature. If you can't find any literature on mangosteen and cancer, then maybe your hypothesis is wrong. Maybe your hypothesis is novel. So if you can't find any literature and you work on that, it will be risky. Not risky. It's risky, okay? It will be very risky because you may find nothing, or you may find something that is very interesting because you may be the first one to work on it. Then you may be able to publish a Nature or Cancer paper or Science paper. Okay, so 209 papers, and then you can see most of the paper is quite a recent paper. That means recently someone are very interested on this topic. So that's why there are 208 papers, and then recent one is Planta Medicine 2025 August, blah 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 blah. So seems this mangosteen has an effect against oxidative stress and inflammation. So it's very important. Stress and inflammation can induce cancer. So if mangosteen can suppress oxidative stress and inflammation, probably it can prevent cancer. Maybe that's the hypothesis. So literature search, very important after you make the hypothesis, because you have to read it and you know what is known. What is known, what's already been known. Then you have to find something that is unknown. Then you have to work on it. That means no one has done it before. So after that, then you have to design experiment. What experiment you have to do? Then you have to design experiment, plan A, plan B, plan C, 1, 2, 3 step. And then you have to do that. The step 3. For example, okay, design of experiment that can lead to novel finding. For example, so I designed a novel extraction method of mangosteen because if your hypothesis is mangosteen peel, this peel, the outside, can cure cancer, can kill cancer, you cannot just ask patient to eat the peel, right? I can't eat. It's bitter, right? Then you have to extract it. Maybe there is some important ingredient inside. Then you have to do extraction. So then you have to read the literature. So what kind of extraction method people used before? Maybe you design a new extraction method, or like on Monday, right? On Monday I talk about what? Do you still remember on Monday what did I talk about? Maybe Tuesday. I gave a talk in yesterday, right? Yeah, time flies. I totally mix up. So I work on cancer immunology, right? I'm interested in cancer immunology. So I want to use immune system to kill cancer. So maybe I want to design some experiment to examine the effect of mangosteen peel on immune checkpoint inhibitors of cancer immunotherapy. In this case, I need to do another research work. And then, so I do another research work. Mangosteen, immune checkpoint inhibitor, and cancer turn out to have only one literature. Wow, that's interesting because someone worked on it, but only one. That means if you work on these topics, it will be novel. It will be novel. So this paper talk about how the mangosteen, alpha mangosteen, as a potential inhibitors of immune checkpoint program death ligand 1, that is PD-L1. So maybe it's this one can enhance the effect of cancer immunotherapy because the PD-L1 protein get downregulated. Wow, that's interesting to me. So I want to see whether I can see this effect in my model. Then I will have to design experiment. So you have to have your hypothesis. You have to do literature search to know what is known, what is unknown, and then you design experiment for your research work and not just sitting here and listen to me. Okay? Not just write the papers. You don't have data. How do you write a paper? So you have to have research work first. Do research. Do interesting research. Do good research that people have not done it before. And then you can write a good manuscript. So a good manuscript started with good data and good experimental hypothesis and design. So you have to have this. If you don't have this, then your papers, your manuscript will not be good. So if you have rubbish data, then your manuscript will be rubbish. So it depends on what kind of hypothesis, what kind of data, what kind of experimental design you have for a good manuscript. So everyone get it? So before you learn how to write a manuscript, learn how to do research work first. So that's very important. I'm sure in ITS, if you join the laboratory, you learn how to do research work. So you have to join your laboratory. So may I ask how many of you is undergraduate student? Raise your hand. Only 1, 2, 3. So if you are graduate student, raise your hand. Okay, so most of you are graduate student. So you are already in the laboratory, right? So then you are learning how to do research work. That's very important for before you write a manuscript. Okay, then the last step will be writing a manuscript by telling people a story. So you make your manuscript interesting. So you have to tell a story. Always tell people why you want to do this, what is your experimental design. Make it like a story, not just a bunch of experiment, which is boring. So that's the writing skill. That's the writing skill that ChatGPT cannot help you. You have to learn by yourself, but you can ask ChatGPT to rewrite it for you. But if you tell ChatGPT, write a manuscript for me, ChatGPT can help you to write a boring paper without telling people a story. You have to tell story. So very important. In your introduction, you are telling story. So that's very important. Tell a story. Okay, for example, so what story are you telling? For example, my interest is cancer epigenetics, cancer immunotherapy. So I'm telling people that I am working on cancer immunotherapy, and then I am thinking, my hypothesis is maybe this one can enhance cancer immunotherapy. So I'm working on that. In your introduction, you should tell people that. And very important, you are doing something, you are doing a research work that you are interested in. Then you can tell a story. Otherwise, it's very difficult for you to tell a story. So I always tell my students, when you go to graduate school, you always choose a lab that the research work interests you. You are feeling interest in doing that kind of research, but not just randomly choose a lab or randomly choose a university. You go and then I just want to get a master's degree. I don't care. Something like that. That's very boring. And it won't give people, it won't tell an interesting story. If you want to tell an interesting story, if you want to do good research work, you must find a research topic that you are interested in. It seems someone wants to come in. In my screen it show. Yeah, because I cannot admit. Maybe I can, I don't know. Okay, so choose a topic. Okay, for example, this is my very first publication when I was a master's student. In 1998, I made my first publication. So, when do you born? Before 1998, right? Some of you born after, some before. So it's 20. If you born 1998, that means you are 27 years old, right? Yeah. Okay. So this is my first publication. Effects of cytoskeleton inhibitor on the accumulation of irin-cristin in a resistant human lung cancer cell line with high level of polymerized tubulin. I think this study defined that I will do cancer research in my career because I found cancer research very interesting. So you have a topics that you feel interesting, then you can go on forever. So this is when I was in Taiwan, Taichung Tonghai University, and Vivian Yang is my supervisor, and then she retired several years ago. So I'm still doing research work on that, although not lung cancer, but I'm working on cancer since 1998. So I will give credit to my supervisor because she is the one that need me into this field, and then she taught me a lot on cancer biology. So I really honor to be her student. And then and I always tell my student, I don't know whether you have such a feeling. when you publish a paper, and then you can go home and tell your parents, hey, you can search the computer, and then my names turn out to be in the database. And then tell your parents, you see, you can find my name in the internet. My name is on the internet. So when in the PubMed, when you type it, you can see, oh, that's me, Tonghai University, and my work. Other people can see it. So I always tell my student, okay, you publish something of interest, and then it's on the database, and someone can see it. And not only that, for me, I always bring my student to attend international conference. Have you ever attended an international conference outside Indonesia? No. I bring my student to attend international conference when they are undergraduate. If they join my lab as an undergraduate student, I will bring them to Japan to attend the Japanese Cancer Association annual meeting. And then they will present poster in the research meeting, international research meeting. They practice how to use English to present, but more importantly, they can come across with a lot of good scientists. They can see a lot of people doing cancer research work. Not only you, not only in CCU, few people doing cancer research. You go out in the Japan and see, wow, so many people do research work. That's so interesting. I want to do it. I want to do good research work so that sometime I don't need to have poster. I want oral presentation. I don't want poster presentation. I want oral presentation. And then if you go oral presentation, then you get travel grant from Japan. They give you money to travel to Japan. You don't need to pay. Wow, my student get travel grant. I'm so happy. And then they go free. And they eat Japanese food. They like Japanese food very much. So tell your parents that I publish a paper and then I search the database. You see, you find my work there. So right now, this is my profile. So I am from Chongjiang University. Now I published 154 papers. Starting from my PhD, my H index is 42. You can search it. And then my citation is 7,035. Means a lot of people been citing my manuscript. That means my manuscript is useful for the scientific community. I'm not doing junk work. I'm not doing rubbish. I'm doing something that other people's also interested in. That's very interesting. Then that's also important because you make scientific impact. Your work has impact on the whole society. Although you may not be able to get Nobel Prize, that's too far away from you, but maybe your works can help others. Maybe your works has some important usage in the scientific community, in the engineering community. So that's why doing research work that you feel interested in is so important before you write a manuscript. So you have to learn how to do good research work, and then you make a story, and then you can publish it. Publish an interesting paper. Publish a paper that has impact on the scientific and jargon. So in the title, you have to use the full wording, and then the title page includes author affiliation, blah, blah, blah. That is not very important. Okay? I think when you join your lab, professor will teach you how to do that. And then author listing only lists those who have made an intellectual contribution to the research. So that's research ethics. List something that really give contributions to the research work. Okay. Or those who will publicly defend the data and conclusion, and those who have approved the final version. And in some field, such as in mathematics, the order of the author is listed in terms of alphabetical order, but not on the contributions. But usually in scientific community, other than mathematics, the order of the names, it depends on the contribution. Usually the first author is the one that do the research work and writes the manuscript. And then the last author is usually the corresponding authors. Corresponding author means the author that's it's the responsible one. The one that designed the whole experiment, or he get the grant, he get the funding, something like that. So that's corresponding author. Usually in a lot of paper is on the last author, but sometimes it appears at first. Okay, then abstract. Abstract briefly summarize what you're finding. So it summarize the problem, the method, the result, and conclusion. So the reader can decide whether or not to read the whole article. And together, the title and abstract should stand on their own. That means when people read it, they understand what it says. So many authors write the abstract last so that it accurately reflects the content of the papers. But before you write the abstract, please read the journals that you are going to submit, the journal's instructions to author carefully, because a lot of journal has word limitation. So you have to read it, or the style of the abstract is different from journal to journal. So it's very important to read it. Okay? And introduction, very important. Introduction, you are telling people a story. So you clearly state the problem being investigated, the background that explains the problem, and then reason for conducting the research. That is what is unknown. You have to tell in the introduction, what is unknown? What is my novelty? So because no one study mangosteen peel on the immunotherapy of cancer. So my research work is to investigate whether the mangosteen peel extract can have an effect on cancer immunotherapy. So that's unknown that you have to tell people. So it is telling a story. Always in the introduction, you are telling a story. So, and the last paragraph, usually you may summarize some of the research, and then identify the question you are answering. Explain what other findings, if any, you are challenging or extending some other findings. Maybe you can say, someone has done mangosteen stew on immunotherapy, but their research may have some unknown, so I'm looking for the mechanism, something like that. So in brief, describe your experiment, hypothesis, research question, general experimental design or method. That's very important. Remember, my keywords is what? Tell a story. So in the introduction, you always tell people your story. Make it a story. Okay, and then you submit. And then you have your data, everything you submit. And then your paper get rejected, or it's luckily, you receive real comments. and then it is major revision. Okay, then you have to answer reviewer question. Okay, you have all the reviewers comment, and then you have to respond. Then how to do that? Okay, first one. If the reviewer asks you for additional experiment, most of the time the reviewer asks because you are chemical engineering, so you do experiment. Reviewer may ask, I don't trust this experiment, or this experiment is not good enough. So you have to give respect to the reviewer, that I thank the reviewer comments, and so because the reviewer asked me, this is my response letter, my actual response letter, okay? So in the first line, I thank the reviewers for his or her interest and positive comments regarding our manuscript. We have now revised the manuscript accordingly. So he asked me, how about blah, 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 blah. You don't understand this, okay? So, do experiment. So we have performed additional experiment to determine blah, 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 blah. And then now you can find the new result. So as to make the reviewer happy. Make him happy is so important. You have to please the reviewer, because he wants respect. He or she review your paper, but you do not want to respond, then the reviewer will get angry. When you resubmit, he will reject you. So I will always, if I can, do additional experiment that the reviewer requests. Perform reviewer requests as much as possible. Try your best. So usually, when I receive this, do you know how long it takes to do? 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. I do additional experiment. I ask my student, you have to do this. You have to do. So I push him. You have to do. So even if the editor only give you 3 months to do experiment, but you don't have enough time, send email to the journal, said, I am doing my experiment very hard. Please give me another 3 months. So they will give me another 3 months to do the experiment. So a lot of time in biological experiment, you need to spend 2 years, 3 years to do the experiment, and then you submit. After 6 months, you receive the comment, and then you have to do another 6 months to do additional experiment, and then resubmit. And then resubmit, and then the reviewer is still not happy, and then send back. And then you need another 1 month or 2 months to do the experiment. So in CCU, when you get a PhD in biological science, biomedical sciences, usually 5 years, because you spend 3 years, 4 years to do experiment. Just submission of paper is 1 year. Just submission itself is 1 year, because you have to do additional experiment, whatever. I will talk about that later. Okay. And then educate the reviewer, because the reviewer may not totally understand what you do, because he is busy. So he only read your manuscript in 1 hour and then write comment. So he is so busy. So he may not read your papers carefully. Then he asked me something. Blah, 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 blah. He said, it is very hard to know how this happened. We thank the reviewer for this important comment. We thank him. Thank you. Thank you for giving me comment. I don't say, you are stupid. How can you ask me this? No, you don't say that. You have to thank you, even you are not happy. Writing a stupid. Don't say so, okay? Then it will get rejected. And probably they will send this letter. The editor will send this letter to all the journal. And then you cannot submit anything in your whole life. So don't do that. Don't say you are stupid. You say, we respectfully do not agree with you. Okay? This is how civilized people doing things, okay? Learns to be civilized. Yeah, okay? Learn to be kind. Okay? Oops. Okay. What if your article is rejected? You cry. It's okay. Just cry one day, okay? Just cry one day. I remember. One of my I still remember that. It's not rejected, it's accepted, but not my student. So I have I supervise a PhD student from my labs, my neighboring labs next to me. So because she in Taiwan, the maximum length of PhD is 9 years. Maximum. You cannot over 9 years. 9 years you kick out. So she is 7 year. 7 year already, a lady. And then her supervisor is not happy. And then her supervisor is my previous department head. He's a big boss. And then he asked me, Michael, can you supervise her? I don't want to supervise her again because only 2 more years she kick out. So I give her another research work. And because her research work get rejected all the time. So, and then I supervise her. And then we submit everything. I still remember the night I received the acceptance letter. The email, I received the acceptance email. That student called me. She called me. She's a lady. She's called me. That's her 9 years. Last year, she called me and cried. Thank you, professor. Otherwise, I will be kicked out. I still remember that. So crying is okay. If it's rejected, you can cry for 2 days, okay? So what if it is rejected? Next one. Okay. Number 1. If it is rejected by in-house editor, that means you submit, within 2 days get rejected without comments, resubmit to other journal. You don't have any chance because the editor doesn't like it. And also, no comments. You don't know why he doesn't like it. Unless the editor is your friend, you write him email and ask why I'm getting rejected. Tell me why. So, how to be a friend of an editor? Go to international conference. Met those people. I have friends in the very good journal. Before I submit, I send email to him. I send my manuscript to him. Can you take a look on my manuscript? Is it okay to submit to your article? And if he said no, then I won't try. If he said yes, then I will try. So you have to know editor. Go to international conference. Attend international conference. Prepare your name card. So when he or she comes to see your poster, give her or him the name card. Remember me. Then maybe one day when you submit a paper to that journal, oh, I remember this Indonesian student. Oh, he is good. She is good. So go to international conference, attend international conference, present poster. No, big guy. That person may not be editor, maybe your reviewer. He may be review a manuscript. So, but if it is rejected in-house, submit to others. Okay? But if it is rejected after review, you get a lot of comments, but get rejected. What you do? Number one, resubmit to other journal. I don't want to do that because he lists a lot of experiment. I can't do it. Very difficult. So just submit to others. Second, resubmit to the same journal if you think you can do all the experiment. You can do all the request. Resubmit to it. And then write a good response letter. Write a good cover letter. I'm going to show you the letter. After I get rejected by a journal of impact factor 10, I really want to get it. I have to get this one because I like this one. I like this journal. So, this is the cover letter that I wrote in 2016 after my papers was rejected in 2015 May. So, I write, this is oncogene. You can check the impact factor of this oncogene paper. This is a traditional paper, a traditional journal. Means they don't have the APC. They don't charge ethical processing fee. This is a traditional journal, very tough, very difficult to get in. In my whole life, I need one. So I try very hard. So, Professor Green, I would like to resubmit our manuscript, blah, 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 for further consideration for publication in oncogene. I told him we have previously submitted our manuscript to oncogene May 18, 2015. I get some comment. So, after 1 year and a half, almost 1 year and a half, I did experiment again, and I resubmit. So I write in the original version, blah 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 blah. But in this new version, we have further identified blah 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 blah. I told him what is the original version, and now I improve by doing this additional thing. So we believe this new version would make our manuscript substantially more valuable to the reader of oncogene, as we have solved the long-standing puzzle of the contrary role of ANGPTL4 in human cancer. Because I'm working on these genes, some people say this is a good gene, some people say this is a bad gene. Why? Because my paper solved this puzzle, telling people that why it can be good, why it can be bad. So this make a very important contribution to bladder cancer. So that's why eventually this get accepted by oncogene. But still, after I submit this one, I have 2 rounds of review. 2 rounds, not 1 round. After submit, 6 months, I get the review, I answer it, send it back, another review, I submit, send it back, and then accept it. So, if you really want to get it, you have to explain and then you do something. Okay? Okay, now I stop here first, see if anyone has any question want to ask before I get into predatory journal issue. Maybe I ask you if you don't ask me. So what is my magic word in my first part? What is my magic word? You are good. Do you want to come to CCU to study? You are good. Tell a story. Smart guy. Okay. He is good. Yeah. Tell a story. Okay. You ask me question. Yes, please.
Thank you, Professor, for the time and the opportunity. Uh, First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Edra, and I would like to ask a bit of a simple question. How do we choose or how do we decide on a good publishing body to submit our journal to?
So you are asking how to design the journal, right?
How to decide on the publishing body that we want to publish our journal?
Publishing body means a journal article, right?
The journal articles.
So how do you choose the right journal, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to talk about that in the next part.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Professor.
If no, then I proceed to my next part. Oh, you have? Okay.
So, Professor, let me introduce myself. My name is Rizky.
I know you already.
And I would like to ask how and where we should put our research limitation, because last time I got a review and that I should do any study that is outside my work. And yeah,
So usually for the research limitation, we put in the last paragraph of discussion. And then you acknowledge that our research work has some limitation. For example, for my case, maybe my limitation is the number of cancer patients is not enough. Then you have to say, okay, yes, the number of cancer patients in my research work is low, so a further study may be needed to further confirm my result. So you tell something, and then maybe your extraction methods, you have some limitation on your extraction methods. The limitations on doing cancer work, for example, only cell line is not enough. We have to do animal experiment in the future. Then you write that in the last paragraph of conclusion. On the discussion, last paragraph of the discussion, you write limitations, the limitation of your study. Okay, you are asking a very high level manuscript preparation skill. Yeah, that requires one-on-one supervision. He's asking very technical issue.
because last time I got a review that my research is focused on extraction method and then comparative study. And then the reviewer said that maybe you should study the kinetic and then about some thermodynamics, and then I replied to the reviewer that I don't want to do this because this is not my focus. I just focus
you
on
cannot say
extraction.
so. You cannot say so.
Yeah, not like that, but yeah, with a good manner.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yes. So it depends on whether you want to do that experiment or not. So if you don't want to do, then you put it in the limitation that you have some difficulties in doing so. So I encounter in my research work as well. So I said I have something that I cannot purchase. So because it's not commercially available, it's a chemical which is developed by someone, and they are not willing to share with me. I cannot do whatever the reviewer requests to do that. So I say I cannot do that and put it in the limitation of my study. Otherwise, you try your best to do it. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. So any more question? Oh, yes, please.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Akmal from graduate school in chemical engineering, master's degree. Here I want to ask you, in my plan, I want to write a paper, an article with a systematic literature review techniques. So there must be required an article database. So I want to ask you, how do we design our article database for making a review article? Just like
Okay,
Thank
so you are asking that you want to write a systematic review on something, on database, on
like
what topics?
Review article on some topics.
Okay, okay.
We require article database to
Okay.
to be reviewed.
Okay, yes. So writing a review articles is more difficult than the experimental because firstly, you need to read a lot of papers. So for review articles, I would suggest the number of references would be around 100. So without 100, I dare not write a review articles. In my whole life, I have 2 review articles I have written before. So this first one. The second one is very important. You are not just describing what other people's doing. That's a very poor review. You have to write perspective. So what kinds of advices you give based on the people's finding. So you have to write perspective. You understand what I say? So not only summary of other people's write. So that's a very boring review papers. You have to write perspective. So what do you think in the next step people can do? So based on the current observation, based on the current finding, what is the next step? So that's a good review papers. So if you read Nature review, they also like that. And then third one, prepare attractive figures. If your research work involves some kind of data, figures, or table, whatever, you should have your tables or figures that make the readers or reviewer easy to read, because you make some summary of other people's finding. You need to have figures or table to help others understand.
So there must like a state of the art maybe. You say I have to make some table to
Yes. Support.
to summarize
Yes, yes. To
another
some
research of
yes, exactly.
just like a state of the art.
Yes.
Enough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more question on the first part? Yes, please.
Thank you, Professor. My name is Andika. I wanna ask about best question before the publish starting research. According your explanation about the potential of mangosteen as extract for cancer, if the result do not align with initial hypothesis, it still have the potential to publish in reputable journal?
Good question. So if the result doesn't align with your hypothesis, so what will you do? Okay, then the first thing, very important, is you have to think of your hypothesis, whether your hypothesis is correct or not. I tell you, 90% of my hypothesis is wrong. 90% of my hypothesis is wrong. So I have to revise. So, and then secondly, go back to check your experiment, whether your experiment has any error. So is the data trustable? So before you claim that your hypothesis is not correct, so go back and check your data, whether it is trustable, is it okay, experimental design okay. So, and then after you check everything, the data is good, but it doesn't align with my hypothesis. For example, I treat mangosteen still with the cancer. The cancer grow much better. For example, like this. Then I have to check my experimental design, see whether it is only effective on certain cancer or not. Not this cancer, not bladder, maybe lung. Maybe the things I add is incorrect. Yeah, after I check everything, I revise my hypothesis. Mangosteen stew peel is toxic. It will make you more cancer. Don't eat it. Something like that. So you have to make it. Yeah. So you have to always open, because we are scientists. So you always open for results that's not aligned with your hypothesis. And I want to tell you something. Don't change your data to align your hypothesis. Okay? Don't change your data. That's ethical issue. Yeah. Okay? Someone will find it after 10 years. Oh, this data has manipulated this paper. Someone manipulated the data. I tell you, when you do bad things, someone will know. Whoever, whatever the link, someone will know. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you.
You have question?
Thank you, Professor, for the presentation. My name is Farhan, and I want to ask, how do we create or make an interesting and good manuscript title so that can impress the in-house editor and also the reviewer and also the readers? Thank you.
Okay, so you have to read others people's papers title first. So you read others one, you read a lot, you see what words they use, and then discuss with your supervisor. And now you can ask ChatGPT, or right now you can ask ChatGPT, give you some title to me, which is attractive. Yeah, and so I think the wording is very important, and also reflect your research work. Yeah, so not just something very boring and not reflect the actual result in your research work. So in your title, you must see, the editor must see what is the finding in the title. Yeah. For example, I would say the effects of mangosteen, the anti-cancer effects of mangosteen stew in cancer immunotherapy, for example. This is not very good one, but in the title I can see anti-cancer effect and also immunotherapy. You have all those good words, all those keywords, and then you can ask ChatGPT, what can I make it a more attractive one? Something like that. Okay.
Thank you very much.
So can I continue now? Okay, so now I think it's very important to talk about predatory journal. Okay, so what is predatory journal? Before I talk that, let me talk about open access first. Open access. I am soon. Everyone knows open access, right? Open access means free, immediate access and immediate availability. Okay, so people can access the paper for free, and it is immediate availability. Okay, and the author, open access, but the author needs to pay APC, that is article processing fee. That's open access. Versus in the traditional journal, for example, this one. Do you know this one? Chemical Engine Journal. Very good one, right? It's a traditional journal. It's by subscription based. What is subscription based? The reader have to pay. The reader. Usually, who is the reader? University is the reader. University will pay, or the library will pay. So this is traditional journal versus the open access. Why do we have open access? When I was a graduate student, no open access. Then how come now we have open access? Let me tell you the history. So because the traditional journal subscription fee is too high for the university or reader. How high? For example, for Elsevier, if you want to subscribe the whole series of Elsevier, the annual price is 30K US dollar per year. Your university has to pay 30K US dollar per year in order for you to read for free. Otherwise, you have to pay. That's traditional journal. So, and it is not immediately accessed to the reader because they have to print. After the paper get accepted, have to print. So you may have to wait for 1 month in order for your papers to be available. But right now, they have the website. So the website will be immediate access, but has to pay. If your university do not subscribe it, you cannot read it, and then the reader has to pay. So, in around year 2000, there is a group of scientists, including Nobel Prize winner Harold Ramis, biochemist Patrick Brown, computational biologist Michael Eisen. There's a group of scientists, they are not happy with that. Why they are not happy? Because I did my research work and I submit to your journal, and then I cannot see it sometimes. My university do not subscribe, then I cannot access. How come? And then they found that the subscription fee is higher and higher, and it's too high for general scientific community. So in the year 2000, they launched a new system which is called PLOS, Public Library of Science. I think everyone know PLOS 1. Yes, this is one of the journal which is launched at year 2000 to advance open access. That's the very first open access journal, because they want to promote science. They want to promote everyone can read. So, who pay? Authors pay. Not reader. Authors has to pay. That is called open access. Okay? And where is my cursor? Okay. Okay. Then because author has to pay, so a lot of open access journal then comes out after PLOS, more and more. So, and then some journals, some publisher use this chance to earn your money. They want to earn your money, but not to promote science. So, some journals, they exploitative academic publisher that prioritize financial gain over scholarly integrity by collecting publication fees from author without providing legitimate service like proper peer review, editing, or archiving. So that means you submit, just get accepted. No need to review. So happy, then you have a paper, but you have to pay. So, all predatory journals are open access, but not all open access are predatory. Okay, you have to know this. Not all open access journal are predatory. For example, Nature Communication. Nature Communications, you know this one? Nature Communication. This is open access. Do you know what is the APC? Anyone knows the APC of Nature Communications? It's 10,000 US dollar. APC of Nature Communication is 10,000 US dollar. So it's good. Everyone wants to get into nature communication. So, but predatory journals, they use this chance to earn your money, but they didn't provide rigorous review process, editing, or archiving. So if you want to know what is predatory journal, go to Bell list. Bell is a librarian in United States. Jeffrey Bell is a librarian who created a list to list all the predatory journal. However, in 2017, Bell shut down, not updating. You can still access it, but he is not updating. Why? Because the predatory journal threatened him. Because predatory journals earn a lot of money. They can hire assassin to kill him. So he going into the lawsuit, threat, harassment from the predatory publisher. And then also pressure from his own university. His own university tell him to shut it down because you are affecting businessmen. Now, publishing become a business. That's very bad. So that's why in the scientific community we are talking about this game may change one time. This game may change one time because right now publishing a papers become a business. They earn a lot. Even not like Nature Communication. For example, PLOS ONE. What is the publication fees, APC? $1,600 US. 1,600 for one article. Do you know how many articles per year? You can check. They have around, I think, 300,000 article, I think, or more. I forgot the numbers. So you calculate how much they earn. And they don't have any printed issue. Only a computer you can earn. If you want to earn money, easy. Set up a publisher in ITS. You launch a journal, then you will earn money. You will earn a lot. And a lot. You can make it a business. Yeah. But remember, don't make it predatory, okay? Okay, so Bell list. You can go to Bell list to see. Okay. So, but there are some journal, they are not predatory. They are suspicious. Suspicious. People may think, they may be predatory. They are on the line. Like predatory, but not predatory. Something like that. Such as in the Europe and some other countries, for example, in Taiwan, they also classify MDPI, Frontiers, and Hindawi as suspicious journal. In Taiwan, if we submit papers in MDPI, the student cannot graduate. Not counted. Not counted. And also in MDPI, if we want to promote professor, no, it will get rejected in Taiwan. So now no one in Taiwan submit MDPI. And Frontiers as well. Hindawi is a Egyptian-based journal, and then they sold it to Wiley. So now no Hindawi. When you type Hindawi, it disappears because Wiley purchased all the Hindawi. So when you submit a journal to previous Hindawi journal, we have to be very careful because right now we are still don't know whether the scientific community accept all those previous journals which is owned by Hindawi. So be careful. Although Wiley, we know, is a very good publisher, we still don't know whether Hindawi's journals are acceptable now. So, okay. So the scientific community thinks that they don't have, or the suspicious journal don't have rigorous peer review, and the publication volume is too high because they invite too many invited guest editor and also review article to manipulate the impact factor. The scientific community think that those suspicious journal, although they are not predatory, they are manipulating the impact factors by inviting a lot of guest editor. I don't know whether you have been invited for MDPI journal or not. Okay, MDPI as guest editor, and then you have to, because of guest editor issue, special issue, they have more article, and then some of them are review articles which has higher impact factor. So the scientific community thinks that those suspicious journal, they use this style to manipulate the impact factors. So we have to look to see whether the Clarion will remove it from the journal citation index from the SCI list. I don't know. Have to wait and see. Okay? So, why predatory journal, or why though open access is attractive? Because it is fast and they have high impact factor or Scooper score. So when you submit to open access, be careful that they are not predatory, okay? I tell you, in Taiwan, there's a case. Not only predatory journal, but predatory conference. In Taiwan, a student, a PhD student, received an email that there are certain conference will be held in Europe. So, and then the student click on the website, pay the money, and then attend the conference. And then when through there, everything, the conference make you everything. They accept your papers. They told you, okay, you are invited to present your poster, everything. They make it everything. When the student went there, nothing, no such conference. So it's in the newspaper of Taiwan, and that student is from National Taiwan University. It's a shame. How come an NTU student do that? And then they asked the supervisor also being tricked. They don't know there is such a conference, and then they attend. So always be suspicious on email, because right now those predatory journal and conference send out emails every day to invite you to submit papers, to attend conference, everything. For me, I only attend conference that are organized by international organization, such as the Japanese Cancer Association, the American Association of Cancer Research, something like that. I only attend those. I won't attend conference which is, I don't know who invites, unless this my friend, unless it's organized by my friend that I know. This is not predatory. Otherwise, don't click on unknown email. In Taiwan, there are lots of people that click unknown email, and all money in the bank account gone. Okay, be careful. Okay, because in the neighboring countries, Cambodia, they have the largest scam there, right? So China, do you read the news? The China tourists went to Thailand, Bangkok, and captured to Cambodia, and then to become a telephone scam. And then the Chinese government had to send soldiers to rescue him. So don't click on that. Very dangerous, okay? Not only predatory journal, but also predatory email scam. Be careful, okay? protect your bank account, protect your wallet. Okay, money is very difficult to earn. Okay, save money. Okay, so then if open access is so dangerous, sometimes high impact factor, what should we do? I would suggest, let me say, if you submit something, if your academic career has some predator journal inside your CV, so it may affect your academic credibility and career. Remember what I say at the very beginning. Scientific impact is more important than impact factor. Doing something that can impact the society rather than something that just can published. So remember also when doing. I remember Nobel Prize laureate, the one that discover maybe you don't know it because it's Nobel Prize in medicine and physiology. So a person that developed a technique called CRISPR-Cas for gene editing. I don't know anyone heard this CRISPR-Cas for gene editing. Now we can change the organism of gene very quickly because of this invention. So, but the papers that the scientists published is a very low impact factor paper. At that time, no one knows. But how come she get Nobel Prize? Because and after several years, and that techniques been found to be very useful for gene editing. Okay, so and because a lot of predatory journals have very high APC, so has to be very careful. So in Taiwan, in order to protect the scientists, we can only submit SCI, and now we are not allowed to submit suspicious journal. So then what can we submit? I would encourage you to submit to traditional journal if possible, but I know the turnover time is long because review can be very long. And it requires lots of data. Yeah, and then subscription fee too high for the reader as well. Yes, but if you want to have a better academic credibility, traditional journal is a better way. Of course, open access journal also, some of them are very good. Yeah, so you have to pay attention, and so always refer. If you have any question, always refer to bell list first. Check whether the journal you want to submit is it in the bell list. And right now I choose publisher. So I choose Wiley, I choose Elsevier, I choose Nature Spring, I choose BMC. So those big publisher is kind of guaranteed, other than something unknown. So if you encounter something that is not very well known, check bell list first. Okay, that's the end. Any question?
Thank you for the opportunity, Professor. My name is Fauzan, and I want to ask one question. I have read the journal about in Science Direct, but the journal is the article in the press. So if I read the journal, is possibility to become the predator journal or not? Thank you.
Yes, you mean the article in press. Yes, article in press means the articles that have been accepted already. So, but it's not because if you know the publication process, we send Word document to the journal. And after it's accepted, they have to change the format into the journal style. So probably the article in press is the one that remain like Word format, but not into the journal 2 columns format. So article in press is okay, it's same. Yeah, you can read it.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Professor.
For the when I'm young lecturer, graduate from NTUST 2017, and I submit in the RPN journal. This one the Scopus Q2, but Indonesian government said this is a predatory journal. I don't know why. Is it the fault of the Indonesian government, or this is a predatory journal? Because this one is Scopus Q2. I take in the Scopus. And what is it? Is it
Is the journal in bell list?
sorry?
In the bell, when you check the bell list,
Bell
is
list doesn't appear in Bell list, Professor.
not appear in
Not
bell
appear,
list.
yes.
Okay, so is it
Appear in
does it have
Scopus
an
Q2.
impact factor?
Yes, Scopus Q2.
Is okay, so it's a SCI.
This one in Indonesia is only take Scopus and the quartile Q2,
Okay,
Q1
okay,
or something, Professor.
okay.
Doesn't take SCI.
So but the Indonesian government think it is predatory.
Yes.
So can they? And then so in this case, maybe you can provide. Okay, so if they usually the nature of publication of predatory journal is accept the paper without review.
Yes.
So you can provide the review comments and how you respond
Yeah.
to it to prove that you have rigorous review process and then respond
Yeah.
to prove that it is not a predatory journal.
Okay.
Because predatory journal usually do not have this review process. Yeah. Or
Because
the review process is very loose. You can provide the email from the journal
journal, yes.
on the reviewer comments, and then your response letter, how you responded, and then all the back and forth email you can provide
Yeah.
to prove that this is not predatory.
Yeah, we already take this email to Indonesian government. Until now doesn't have response. Yeah, yeah. So I think this is the Indonesian government false about the predatory journal, because this one Scopus Q2 and I publish in the RPN is need 3 until 6 months after review, because one submit and after that have a review 2 months, and I submit again and have a review until 3 until 6 months. So 1 year to become submit accepted this one. So I think this one not a predatory journal. Yeah.
So if the journal doesn't have predatory journal doesn't have this kind of strict review, so you can give proof. Always you can give proof. Yeah.
Proof and until now doesn't respond. Okay, thank you very much, Professor. Do you have some question, guys? Yeah.
Thank you, Professor. I want to ask, yesterday you said that your student using AI for research and writing the manuscript, alright?
Not writing the manuscript,
Oh.
but revising the manuscript, editing the manuscript,
Oh, editing.
not writing. You
Uh,
never ask AI to write manuscript because the AI doesn't know how to write. It writes without telling a story. It's not attractive enough because they don't know how to help you to tell the story. You have the one to write it first, but you can ask AI to edit the English for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Is still there any question?
Thank you, Prof. Michael Chan. I want to ask a question, but not about the predatory journal. When we want to publish a journal, especially in a Q1 journal, we are always told to make sure our data are enough for the publications. So, what does enough data actually mean? Does it mean having many experiments or doing more types of analysis?
Okay, so enough is based on the tradition of that journal. Read that journal that you want to submit and then see what is the amount of data that they usually require. So if they usually requires 10 figures, then you know you have to ready 10 figures for that journal, something like that. So you have to read the papers that are being published in that journal.
So it's not about how many we do the experiments or
It depends
types
on
of
which
analysis.
journal you want to submit to.
oh,
Okay.
thank you, Prof.
I can tell you sometimes Nature papers has very few experiments, but they are novel, very novel. Just maybe 1 figure, 2 figures, go to Nature, and then accept it because it's very new. For example, in Nature, you can read they found a tooth of the dinosaur. If you find a tooth of a dinosaur, and then you do some MRI, you get a Nature paper published. You will be famous. Any dinosaur in Indonesia? Then find something that's unique, no one published before. For example, in Ohio State, I remember when I was in Ohio State, I know a lab that is work on climate change. They only publish 1 paper per year, and that is Nature. They only publish 1 paper per year because they need to spend a year at the top of the mountains or at the Antarctica, and then they dig the ice cone. Have you ever saw a climate change movie? So they dig a whole ice core from the Iceland, and then go back to analyze what's inside the ice to tells you maybe 1 million ago what is the Earth environment looks like. And then they did this research for a whole year, and then they published a Nature paper. So, yeah, something like that.
Thank you, Professor, for the opportunity. My name is Ershad. I'm a master student at Chemical Engineering ITS. My question is it fine to publish paper with the publisher that relatively new? Because for this case, when I check this publisher, it's only around have 50 document or 50 paper around 2023. And also, when I see this journal, they have some discount or even free access to publish the paper. And when I check this publisher, it's also Q1 in Scopus. So is it okay to publish this paper to publish this publisher that are relatively new? Thank you.
Okay. So I will read the quality of the paper. I will read inside. So I don't think all new publishers are predatory. I don't think, but maybe it's predatory, but it depends on the quality of the article. So read the article and see whether it's, you said it is Q1, right? Maybe it's Q1, and you read whether it looks like Q1. Do you think you can judge because you're a master student? You read it. If you don't know how to judge, ask your supervisor. Do you think this article deserves Q1? And then you know whether this is a predatory or not. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Professor, for the insight.
Is there any question?
Okay, thank you. So I would like to ask about, is it okay if we cite one of the MDPI paper?
Okay, that's also a good question. Our president, our president at CCU, tell us not to cite them, because if we cite them, the impact factor will go high.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so avoid citing MDPI. Yeah, but sometimes I have a dilemma. Some of the review papers in MDPI is really good, I would say. I would say. So for me, I won't 100% restrict MDPI citation for me, but I will try to limit. Not everyone is MDPI. Yeah, I think one or two is okay. Yeah, yeah. But our president is very strict. He doesn't like MDPI at all. Yeah, but I would say not all MDPI articles are bad. I would say some of them are good. Yeah, so it depends on the editors of the MDPI, but it's really hard because the editorial process is not that transparent, I would say. Yeah. Sometimes we don't know who is the editor. Yeah, because I have been serving the guest editor previously for MDPI as well. I would say sometimes they didn't send the papers to me. So someone in the editorial office do that. Yeah, not like others article. Yeah.
Thank you. Because I have one or two in my paper.
All right. What other question?
My name is Ferdi. I have a question about identify some predatory journal. Because in my experience, that I've read some papers that related with my experiment. How to identify some paper that may be published in predatory journal, like their content or their quality inside the journal, inside the paper. Inside the paper is maybe like some journal that conducted some experiment, but not included the experiment procedure, or some paper that maybe used material is not give details data of that material. Maybe I think it is can identify the predatory journal from that.
So there are few for predatory journal. There are also few characteristics. One thing is, in the papers you can find the submission date and then the acceptance date. Okay, see whether the two dates are very close. So maybe it submit after 1 week, it accept. Then you must be very careful. Yeah, must be careful on that. And second, do you know there is a website which is called PubPeer? PubPeer, you don't know? You don't know what's it? Everyone, you can check your computer. PUB, Pub. P-E-E-R, pub peer. So in the pub peer, you can always ask that specific papers because there is a number that is there. You can use the ID of the papers, also refer, and then you can ask question on that papers, and then that your question will be direct to the corresponding author. See, they will respond. You can go pub peer. Can you find pub peer? Yeah, pub peer is very large. It is a very large website. I think people in pub peers they don't have much work to do. They always screen papers. Oh, this one maybe the data is manipulated, something like that. Yeah, so you can always check and ask in pub peer. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is it any more?
There is a Chrome add-on. You can download a Chrome add-ons, PubPeer, and then install it in your Chrome, and your Chrome will auto screen that the papers you read has some problem or not.
Okay, I don't have a question again. Enough? Enough, guys. I already know about how to make a good manuscript and how to answer the reviewer, yeah. And the third is how to define this is the predatory journal or not, yeah. You already have some competency about three of this Professor Chan presentation, right? Okay. If don't have some question, so get a big applause for the Prof Chan for interesting presentation. Thank you. Thank you very much. I go back to the MC.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Hakun. And ladies and gentlemen, before we end today's event, we will have a souvenir presentation as our sign of appreciation to our guest lecturer for sharing his knowledge and time with us today. So we would like to invite Dr. Hakun to give a souvenir to give the present for Professor Chan from National Chung Cheng University, Taiwan. So we can go take a picture together. All right, thank you so much. Please give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Now we invite our guest lecturer, professor, and all participants to come to the front. All right. Please, everyone to come to the front for a photo together with our guest lecturer. And find your position. Monggo Mas Mbak bisa ke depan langsung.